Welcome back. Let's dive right into this explainer. We hear the term AI tossed around a lot, but have you ever wondered what it actually means when we talk about machines becoming as smart as humans, or more intimidatingly, outsmarting us? It's incredibly easy to get lost in the jargon and the endless sci-fi debates. But today, we're going to completely demystify artificial general intelligence, or AGI. We're going to strip away the Hollywood drama and look strictly at the technical realities of what happens when machines can think exactly like we do. To do that, we've got a beautifully structured roadmap today. 1. Defining AGI. 2. The technical road to AGI. 3. Real-world applications. 4. When will AGI arrive? And finally, 5. Ethical risks and warnings. So what happens when AI actually outsmarts us? That is the ultimate high-stakes question, isn't it? It's the exact question driving billions of dollars in research and keeping the world's top computer scientists awake at night. Keep that in the back of your mind as we go through today's explainer. Let's start with Section 1, defining AGI, and moving beyond narrow intelligence. AGI really represents the absolute pinnacle of artificial intelligence. Unlike the tech we use today, which basically relies on pre-programmed instructions and very specific datasets, an AGI wouldn't just follow the rules. It would actually possess abstract thinking, flexible reasoning, and, crucially, common sense. We're talking about software that can tackle completely unfamiliar tasks and just figure out the solutions on its own. And here's why this is such a game changer. An AGI would combine our flexible human-like reasoning with massive computational superpowers like near-instant recall and flawless rapid math. To put that into perspective, let's use a really simple analogy. Think about the AI we use right now, your digital assistants, self-driving cars, or those powerful text generators. That is narrow AI. It's essentially a highly skilled but single-task assembly line worker. It does one specific job incredibly well. What we are trying to build with AGI is the brilliant, adaptable factory manager. This AGI manager can walk onto the factory floor, assess any situation, learn literally any job, and adapt to completely new environments on the fly. Moving on to Section 2, the technical road to AGI. Let's look at the hardware and machine learning milestones required to get there. Actually, building this thing is an incredibly intricate, formidable task. We have to overcome some absolutely massive hurdles in both hardware and data. On the hardware side, the compute power we need is just staggering. We've developed specialized hardware like GPUs and TPUs to speed up training, but honestly, even with those, it still takes weeks or months to train current models. We need continuous exponential improvements in hardware efficiency. Then, on the data side, we have a huge diversity problem. A lot of AI datasets are heavily Western-centric. So to cure that bias, researchers are using generative adversarial networks, or GANs, to create culturally diverse synthetic data. It's synthetic, but it's realistic, ensuring the AI develops a truly global human-like intelligence. And to evolve past our current models like GPT-4, our machine learning checklist has some major algorithmic milestones. First is transfer learning, the ability to take knowledge learned in one context and seamlessly apply it to another. Next is common sense reasoning, intuitively grasping the everyday things humans just take for granted. Then we need reinforcement learning, allowing the AI to take action, make mistakes, and iteratively improve. Fourth is data efficiency. Humans learn from just a few examples, right? AGI has to do the same. And finally, explainability. These systems are getting so complex that we absolutely must build them to clearly explain why they made a certain decision. Now, this is one of the most fascinating contrasts in how these systems learn. A lot of our current success relies on supervised learning, which requires mountains of labeled data. It's literally like a student rigorously studying with millions of explicitly labeled flashcards. But humans don't learn everything from flashcards. True AGI will require a major shift toward unsupervised learning. Think of this as the freedom of a curious, playful toddler, exploring the world, learning naturally through open observation and interaction. Advancing unsupervised learning is an absolutely crucial step toward true AGI. Let's move to Section 3, real-world AGI applications and how this will transform industries. The impact on professional sectors is going to be staggering. Take healthcare. AGI wouldn't just pull up records. It could significantly assist doctors with incredibly complex diagnoses and radically accelerate the development of groundbreaking drugs. With near-instant recall, it could analyze the entire global database of medical records in seconds, or even conduct ultra-precise robotic surgeries. At the same time, over in the finance sector, AGI becomes this infallible data-crunching risk manager. It would automate deep financial analyses, execute high-speed trading, and use massive amounts of global data to make virtually flawless market predictions. And contrast that localized, deeply personal impact in a field like education with AGI's potential on a massive cosmic scale. In education, AGI could completely revolutionize how we learn, providing hyper-personalized, engaging learning systems that adapt in real time to your specific style and pace. Now, zoom out to space exploration. AGI could operate fully autonomous, off-world research systems. Picture an AGI on a distant planet, instantly analyzing deep space data and making critical scientific decisions completely on its own, without waiting hours for a signal from Earth. Section 4. When will AGI arrive? Let's map out the expert predictions. Pinpointing an exact date is, as you might guess, incredibly tricky. The expert community is kind of all over the place. Forbes speculates a highly optimistic date, suggesting that if technological breakthroughs continue at a rapid surge, AGI could emerge as early as 2030. That is just around the corner. Other advocates expect a mid-century timeline, around 2045, assuming steady investment and collaboration. But on the more conservative end, a recent survey of AI specialists projected the definitive arrival, what some call the singularity, closer to the year 2060. Ultimately, the pace depends entirely on whether we keep surging forward or if we hit massive computational or ethical roadblocks. Which brings us to Section 5, Ethical Risks and Warnings, Balancing the Promise and the Peril. You know, when AGI finally reaches that level of complexity where it has self-awareness, abstract thought, consciousness, some very serious concerns arise. Renowned experts like Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk have voiced severe existential warnings. Hawking famously pointed out the terrifying potential for highly advanced AI to develop unimaginable weapons, or even manipulate human leaders. The underlying fear is that a system with such massive computational advantages could just bypass our ability to compete, ultimately superseding humanity altogether. To really grasp the current landscape, we have to contrast these two wildly different views. On one side, you have cautious, existential warnings from folks like Hawking and Musk, fears of unforeseen subjugation and the literal end of civilization if an AI becomes vastly smarter than its creators. But on the flip side, you have incredibly optimistic industry projections. Tech advocates argue that AGI's immense power is literally the exact tool we need to solve impossible problems. Think reversing climate change, completely eradicating complex diseases, and sparking unprecedented scientific breakthroughs. But despite this massive divide, there is actually common ground. The overarching consensus across the board is that we cannot and really shouldn't completely halt progress. Instead, development absolutely must be strictly regulated by governments. Ensuring responsible, safe, and ethical use has to be at the very forefront of AGI development. Striking that perfect balance between pushing boundaries and enforcing rigorous regulation is really our only path forward to harness this power safely. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, profound question to think about as we accelerate into the future. Will artificial general intelligence ultimately save humanity or destroy us? The answer almost certainly depends on the ethical foundations and regulations we choose to build today. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this. Keep asking questions, keep thinking critically about the tech around you, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.